Example 7, regression line. Now the scatter plot of the 40 pairs of shoe prints lengths and heights is provided below. So here is our scatter diagram. Now if you take a look at this figure, it now contains the regression line, which is in red. Now from the software display, we see that the general form of the regression line has you can see here that it has a y-intercept of b subscript 0, which is 80.9 rounded. So if you come down here, you can see here the regression results. There's the y-intercept b subscript 0, and there we have it at 80.9. Now, some other displays, whether it's StatCrunch, you will see it's sort of similar. It just may not be the exact same way, but you will have the same type of display to be able to determine what is the y-intercept. Okay, and then we need to look at the slope. Well, the slope is b subscript 1, which is equal to 3.22. So there's the slope, and there it is rounded to 2 decimal places. So how would we write this equation? Well, let me put this in here. Remember that from our previous information or definitions, you can see that y hat is equal to the y-intercept plus the slope times x. Okay, so again, we can see that the y-intercept is equal to 80.9 plus we know that the slope is 3.22x. And so therefore, we would say that it might be helpful to express the equation more clearly by using the names of the variables. So y hat represents the height, because if you look at the graph here, that is height. So let me go ahead and highlight that. So we're going to say that represents the height. And again, that equals the y-intercept of 80.9. Okay. Move these down here to make sure that that all matches. And then we also know that we have the slope of 3.22. Now, what does x represent? Well, you can see that x represents on the x-axis the shoe print length. Therefore, that would be the shoe print length. Now, if we wanted to then take a look at that line, and the line I mean by the line of best fit, which is the regression line, we can label this now as y hat, which is equal to 80.9, which is the y-intercept, plus 3.22x. Now note that the equation shows the y-intercept of 80.9. Now it does not appear on the vertical scale on the graph because the leftmost vertical scale is not the actual y-axis that passes through 0 on the x-axis because it's a 24, which means we need to extend this a little further. Now, if the graph were extended to the left, then the regression line would have the intercept, which would be the actual y-axis of the height of y equals 80.9 centimeters.